Tyrese, I guess on the last shot, like, did you think it was like major fouls on the shot when you went up there at the end?
Nope.
I guess what were you?
I should have just took one more dribble and shot it regular.
I guess what happened there in the third quarter, New York kind of came out and kind of went on fire.
We played slow and stagnant and didn't run our stuff correctly. Just gotta play faster, right? Try to ease into it, and can't do that.
Hi, Simone. Simone Wu from A Sports Connect Hong Kong. Just a question for both of you, I guess. At around like fourth quarter, 9-minute mark, when Joel attempted a free throw, the crowd booed. I imagine like the matchup would happen again, possibly in the playoffs. What's your message for the Philly fans?
So you asked, I'm pretty sure the Knicks fans was booing. Pretty sure. So,
Do you have a message for the Philly fans?
I mean, that's not their fault. I mean, we appreciate our fans, so that's the only message I got for them. We appreciate y'all.
DJ, when you have a team that's as basically as the Knicks are, what's the challenge like with that, trying to negate their advantages forwards?
Just gotta block out. That's all it is. When the shot go up, can't just look around. Just gotta go block out. At the end of the day, it always just come down. Rebound come down to who wanted more. And you know what I mean, obviously they did with the rebounding situation. So but we know we could have done a better job of rebounding. So yeah.
BJ, you thought you had drawn the offensive foul and then they challenged and overturned it. Just what was the explanation that you got after that play?
My hands was on him. They say you can't play defense with your hands on nobody, so guess I gotta play defense with my egos out, man. I gotta stay like this the whole time. So that's all I got. I can't touch nobody.
Sorry, but what is the key to like kind of flipping in the moment? Because you think you got emotional, you think you've made this like big play, but then when it kind of flips the other direction, how do you then just kind of move on and continue to play?
I mean, that's what I gotta do. I gotta move on. I can't let that play. It's already gone. Can't do nothing about it no more. It's on to the next play. Emotions gonna be up and down, man. So it's just on the next play for real.
VJ, that first half that Joel had, that was probably the best half he's played as your teammate. I guess, what did you make of being out there with him when he was in that kind of rhythm?
I mean, he's good. He's good. He required a lot of gravity. He's good. Yeah, I mean, I've seen it on YouTube and stuff. I mean, it's just good to see in person now. He's good, man. So, yeah, that's all I got. It's really good.
Tyrese, you have seen a lot of those in person, but not for a little while. I guess, what did you make of that from Joel in the first half?
Yeah, like BJ said, he looked great, man. Moving well, shot the ball well, couple dunks, contesting at the rim. So it's good to see it. Good to see that from him.
Joe, I guess what kind of changed there in the second half for you?
No, as a team, we just, everybody's going to focus on offense, but defensively, we just didn't get stops. And playing against a set defense is always going to be harder than, running in transition and getting easy ones. So, yeah, I think that was our biggest issue, just not getting enough stops in the third. And we did a better job in the fourth, but too much to overcome.
They had a big rebounding advantage, but it's like a chance to advantage. I guess how do you kind of fix that going forward?
Yeah, I mean, we did first two matchups. We did a pretty good job against them. We just gotta do a better job. I thought wasn't necessarily the bigs. I thought that guards, really crush the ball. So make sure we check our men, especially on the perimeter, and take them away from that.
That first half for you, 28 points on 10 of 12, was that the best groove you felt offensively this season?
Yeah, felt pretty good. Just attacking, just doing whatever I wanted. Felt pretty good.
You didn't feel any carryover? It didn't look like it early, but carryover from all the big minutes against Houston. You didn't feel any extra.
I feel great.
Joe, what was your
I was tired. And early game too. I was tired, but that's not. Just gotta keep pushing.
Joe, what was your perspective on? It seemed like they made two different attempts to intentionally foul you guys. One on Tyrese, one on you. And
I got fouled. I got fouled for sure. I thought, Tyrese got fouled too. Obviously trying to make the pass and, thought Brunson hit my hand. Yeah, two games in a row. But it's whatever.
Looks like Landry tried to intentionally foul Tyrese on that. What did you see? What?
Well, yeah, I think he was, but whatever. No big deal.
It looked like it was the same for Joel.
Yep. Usually when you're up 3 and you need 3, teams are going to foul, but they didn't.
Nick, 26-4 second chance points for the Knicks. How do you even go about correcting that with your team?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think certainly a huge concern fresh out of the game, right? I mean, it was a concern at halftime. We got to make sure that we're, usually have to use 2 on Robinson, right? And that gets a little dangerous because you're putting 2 on him, and that leaves, it's like double teaming. It leaves one guy free, and I think a lot of he got his share, but a lot of them came from the guards swooping in from the corners and underneath the basket. We just gotta look at kind of the matchups. Just trying to picture some of them in my head, and it's just somebody's got to come and get that. Once you put 2 on a real big like that, we got to probably almost make a rotation to the next guy coming in. I mean, usually there's at least one guy not going, and you got to use all 5. Right, you got to use all 5, and that gets a little tough sometimes with somebody shot contesting or something. But, certainly a concern after the game. But I think for the most part, we've done a pretty decent job. Worst for me is like usually when we have a game like this and we give up 19 tonight, but usually we'll give up 15 and we'll get 17 ourselves. Right, so it's kind of like. We can kind of balance it out, and we just didn't get any at the other end tonight either. So certainly, probably the determining factor of the game. Yeah.
Nick, with that being said, did you ever consider inserting Andre in there because of the rebound?
Not really tonight. I mean, I think both him and Jabari are probably 2 quality rebounders for us. The only thing we did think about was trying the big lineup. They weren't very big much tonight, nor were they 5'4" much tonight either. But we did think about that. Yeah.
What did they do with the second half with Joel? I mean, especially after so dominant the first half. What do you think kind of changed there after that?
Well, I think mainly they really started getting into us, right? I think just I think the catches were getting a little further away. They were knifing over some of the handoffs and knocking them off our own body and just breaking up a lot of the rhythm. And most of it was just them getting physical and getting over, and there just wasn't quite the rhythm with that. I mean, they just pressed up on them. They pulled the weak side over a little more. We didn't do a great job. Obviously we didn't play very well in the third, right? And a lot of that was the offensive fault and the defensive rebounding. Those 2 things. We just gotta again continue to work on a variety of things that we're doing, and that just a little bit too much of the same probably tonight. Yeah.
You were about to address that towards the end of that game.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, we were gonna. I was just gonna once or twice put Robinson on the line. I just felt more like for 1 or 2 possessions of rest, and then maybe see if he would miss them as well. We kind of climbed back into the game. They obviously took him out, called timeout and took him out. They went small. I thought we did a pretty good job against their small lineup, especially offensively. We scored about every time. And, we were rolling the dice a little bit down there on defense. We were trying to, blitz Brunson and not let him be the one to beat us. Got a couple turnovers. We got a couple missed shots, about 4 or 5 in a row. And then obviously OG, we got to OG and made him reload the one in the corner, and he hit it, and then Shaman hit the next one. So again, you you're kind of, what are you going to do? You're going to sit there and watch Brunson beat you, or you're going to try to make somebody else beat you? I mean, a lot of nights I prefer the latter, and that's what happened tonight.
You said that you participated. They would sit on the line. I guess, did you think they would go small and counter that?
I did not. I mean, there was still, I think, 4:15 to go in the game, right? I thought they weren't even in the bonus, so we were going to have to foul twice to get there. So there you go.
On Tyrese's last 3 attempts, did he still had a lot of time left? Do you think he maybe felt the contact and then wanted to hoist, or what do you think the decision?
Well, yeah, you guys can ask him, but I would imagine he knew he was getting fouled and that they were trying to foul, and he was trying to get the call in a shooting motion. You can ask him, but I'm sure that's what he was thinking.
Nick, there were a few
Last
different
couple.
times in this game where you were making a bunch of subs in a very short period of time with like offense, defense stuff, even the Justin Kelly back and forth. How often do you talk to guys like Barlow, who's usually on the defensive side of those, and even Q on the offensive side, like about always staying ready and focused for when you might just suddenly be yelling for them to get in the game?
Yeah, I think there was really, I mean, we're bringing Justin in to foul. We were Bona the last couple possessions just because they were super small and they were inbound situations where we were really trying to deny and do that. I don't recall much else, but to your point, yeah, I mean, those guys always got to be ready to come in and do whatever. Yeah.
Nick, ultimately it came down to execution, but the home atmosphere tonight, with a lot of people representing New York, how do you think that affects just in general anyway?
Nope.